Hospitals are places of healing where lives are saved and hope is born. But what happens when the lights go dim and the halls fall silent? What if the patients aren't the only ones walking the wards? These are 5 true stories from hospitals that will make you question what lurks in the shadows of those sterile walls. You won't sleep easy tonight. Welcome to Silence Nights, where the scariest stories are real. I'm your host, and tonight we're diving into the darkest corners of hospitals. Let's dig into it. In 2019, Sarah, a nurse in a small Illinois hospital, worked the night shift on the oncology ward. One night, around 3 a.m., the call light for room 5 went off. The room was empty. No patient had been assigned for weeks. Sarah ignored it, thinking it was a glitch, but the light kept flashing every 5 minutes. Finally, she went to check. The room was dark, the bed untouched, but a faint smell of lavender hung in the air. As she turned to leave, she heard a whisper from the corner. "Help me!" Her skin prickled. She spun around, but no one was there. The next night, it happened again. Same time, same whisper. A co-worker told her about a patient, an elderly woman who died in room 5 years ago, always wearing lavender perfume. Sarah started leaving the room's TV on, hoping to calm the spirit. The call light stopped, but sometimes in the reflection of the screen, she saw a pale figure watching her. In 2022, Dr. Patel worked a late shift at a Seattle hospital. He was called to the 5th floor to check on a patient in room 512. The nurse said the man, listed as John Doe, had chest pain. Dr. Patel took the elevator, but it stopped on the 3rd floor, an abandoned ward, pitch black. An elderly man in a hospital gown stood in the hallway staring. "Hurry," he said, his voice hollow. Dr. Patel shivered, but pressed the button to continue. When he reached room 512, it was empty. No patient, no record of a John Doe. The nurse insisted she'd spoken to the man an hour ago. Later, security footage showed Dr. Patel in the elevator, alone. The 3rd floor had been locked for years. A janitor later told him about a patient who died on the 3rd floor in the 1980s, always begging for help before he passed. Dr. Patel never took that elevator again. In 2020, Maria, an RN in a Texas hospital's burn unit, noticed strange things in room 17. Lights flickered, the TV blared at full volume, and the phone rang with static on the line. It started after a Native American patient burned over 70% of his body, died there after months of treatment. Every patient in room 17 after him reported seeing a man in traditional clothing standing by their bed, silent, watching. Maria once walked in to find the TV on, showing static and the words, "I'm still here," scratched into the bedside table. She called out the patient's name, telling him to stop, and the disturbances paused for a week. But one night alone, Maria felt a hand brush her neck, cold as ice. She quit soon after, but the hospital still avoids assigning patients to room 17 when possible. In 2021, Lisa, a nursing student in Ohio, was on a night shift in the ICU. A patient in room 8 needed an X-ray, so she wheeled him out. 5 minutes later, the call light for room 8 went off. Lisa and a colleague returned, but the room was empty. No bed, no patient, windows locked. They searched, panicked, and alerted a senior nurse who seemed unsurprised. The bed was found in the basement, still made, with no sign of the patient. Hours later, the patient was located in the X-ray room, unharmed. No one could explain how the bed moved. The senior nurse later admitted room 8 was cursed. Years ago, a patient vanished from that room, never found. Lisa still hears the call lights buzz in her nightmares, like it's calling her back. In 2023, Tom, an EMT in New York, was transporting a patient to the ER. The woman, homeless and delirious, rambled about being watched. In the X-ray room alone with her, she grabbed his arm, her grip ice cold, and said, "They're all around you." Tom laughed it off, but then she turned to him, her face eyeless, just smooth skin where eyes should be. He stumbled back, heart racing, and blinked. Her face was normal again, eyes wide with fear. She whispered, "They see you now." That night, Tom felt a presence behind him, always just out of sight. Weeks later, he found a photo in his locker, him in the X-ray room, a shadowy figure with no eyes standing beside him. He burned it, but the feeling of being watched never left. These stories are true, shared by those who live them. If they chilled you to the bone, hit the like button and subscribe to Silence Nights for more true horror tales. Got a terrifying hospital story? Email it to silencenightsbox@gmail.com with clear sentences and let us know how to credit your name. Share this with a friend who works the night shift. Stay safe and never wander the wards alone.